Have you ever caught yourself wondering what really makes a difference between people who live into their 90s, still walking, smiling, and sharp, and those who don't? It's not always luck. It's not about having perfect genes or following a complicated fitness routine. More often than not, it comes down to small, seemingly ordinary choices made every single day. Choices that add up over time to shape your energy, your strength, your mind, and your future. Maybe you've seen someone your age who just seems full of life. They've got a spark in their step, their memory's still sharp, and their days are filled with laughter and movement. And maybe you've also seen others, friends, neighbors, even family, whose health seems to have faded too fast. The difference between the two isn't magic. It's not some expensive supplement or fancy secret. It's about those little things, those daily decisions, that either support your vitality or slowly chip away at it. And the best part? You don't have to overhaul your entire life to see results. In fact, just 5 small daily choices could be the strongest predictors of whether you're not only living, but thriving at 90 and beyond. Let's start with one of the most overlooked but powerful choices, your first hour of the day. That moment when you wake up sets the tone for everything else. Do you start with intention, or does the day just carry you along? People who age gracefully tend to have a simple but steady morning ritual, not just brushing teeth and sipping coffee, but waking up with purpose. It could be something as gentle as stretching while the sun rises, or stepping outside for a few deep breaths. That simple act of greeting the day reminds your body and your mind that life is still happening and you're part of it. It's not about having to do a full workout or read a self-help book before breakfast. It's about showing up for your body, for your thoughts, and for the rhythm of the day. And yes, that rhythm matters. Studies show that older adults who maintain regular sleep and wake times, not just good sleep, but a predictable rhythm, tend to have stronger immune systems and more stable moods. So if you've been waking up at random times or falling asleep in front of the TV and waking again at 2 a.m., consider giving your body the gift of routine. It doesn't have to be strict, just consistent. Now, let's talk about movement. And no, this doesn't mean hours at the gym or pushing yourself until your knees ache. It means finding daily, joyful ways to move your body on purpose. It can be as easy as walking the market instead of driving, dancing while you're cooking, or doing a few gentle stretches before bed. You don't need to sweat buckets to reap the benefits. One study found that just 20 minutes of low-intensity activity a day, like a slow walk or gardening, reduced the risk of early death in seniors by nearly 30%. Think about that. Just 20 minutes. And it doesn't have to happen all at once. You can take 2 10-minute strolls. You can water your plants while standing instead of sitting. It's about telling your body, hey, we're still in this together. Let's stay strong. But here's something you may not have considered. How you move your body tells your brain what to believe about your life. When you choose to move, even gently, you're sending a powerful message. I'm still here. I still have goals, purpose, and joy to experience. And that mindset is gold. Because your body follows your beliefs far more than most people realize. Another small daily decision that has a surprisingly big impact is something we often do without thinking: what we listen to. The conversations you engage in, the tone of the news you watch, even the music or background noise in your home, all shapes your emotional landscape. People who live longer often create peaceful, positive environments around them, not because their lives are perfect, but because they protect their peace. You know the feeling. After spending time with someone who only complains or watches hours of gloomy news, you feel drained. Your mood shifts. Your shoulders slump. But spend 5 minutes talking to someone who laughs easily or shares something hopeful, and your whole energy changes. One of the simplest longevity habits: be mindful of what and who you let into your mental space. You don't have to cut off every friend who's having a tough time, but you can set gentle boundaries. Limit the amount of negative content you absorb. Choose uplifting shows, calming music, or even silence instead of background chaos. Think of it like gardening. Your mind is the soil, and whatever you feed it daily is what grows. Choose things that nourish, not deplete. So let's take a breath here. We've talked about starting your day with intention, moving your body in ways that feel good, and protecting your emotional environment like it's something precious. Because it is. These aren't big changes. They're not hard. But over time, they send a powerful message to every cell in your body. I'm still choosing life. I'm still choosing health. And that daily choice? That's what builds a future where 90 doesn't just mean old. It means vibrant, wise, and deeply alive. Now, let's continue with the next small but mighty choice that could help carry you toward a longer, more joyful life. So, we've already touched on how starting your day with purpose, keeping your body gently moving, and guarding your emotional environment can set the stage for a longer, more vibrant life. These aren't grand gestures. They're small, daily choices. But now, let's lean into one that might seem so simple. It often gets overlooked. How you nourish your body. I'm not talking about going on some strict diet or giving up every treat you love. This is about what you consistently choose to fuel your body with, especially as the years go by. After 60, your digestion slows down a bit, your body's repair systems aren't quite as fast, and the way you process nutrients changes. So every meal becomes more than just food. It becomes a vote for vitality or for fatigue. Now think about this. Have you ever had a day where you ate something quick? Maybe a slice of white bread toast, a sugary coffee, or just some packaged snacks, and then found yourself feeling sluggish, foggy, maybe even irritable? That's not a coincidence. What you eat has a direct line to how you think, how you move, and even how you sleep. People who live into their 90s with energy and clarity tend to have one thing in common. They eat foods that are alive. That means colorful fruits, leafy greens, beans, nuts, and fresh vegetables. These foods aren't just about calories. They're about information. They tell your body to repair, to reduce inflammation, to stay sharp. Even something as small as adding half an avocado to your breakfast or replacing one processed snack with a handful of almonds can create real change over time. You don't have to be perfect. Nobody is. But choosing just one meal a day to make extra nourishing. Maybe your lunch is a big salad with olive oil and grilled fish, or your dinner includes steamed greens and a sweet potato, can start to shift how your body feels and functions. Over time, your cells begin to reflect those choices. Your joints move easier. Your skin glows more. Even your memory gets a boost. But food doesn't just affect the body. It affects the mood. Ever noticed how a heavy, greasy meal late at night can make your sleep restless? Or how a warm cup of herbal tea can calm your whole nervous system? What we consume influences every system in the body. So choosing even one meal a day to be filled with life-giving ingredients is like casting a vote for your 90-year-old self to thrive. And speaking of mood, let's move to something that many seniors quietly struggle with, yet rarely talk about: connection. The people you spend time with, the way you interact, and the small moments of shared humanity. These might be the most underestimated daily habits for longevity. It's not just about having a spouse or a big family. It's about feeling seen, heard, and valued. We are wired for connection. Studies have shown again and again that people who maintain meaningful social ties live longer, healthier lives. Not because they're surrounded by dozens of people every day, but because they nurture small, real moments of connection. A 5-minute phone call to an old friend, a chat with a neighbor while watering the plants, even a genuine conversation with the cashier at the store. And if you're thinking, but I live alone or my close friends have passed on, you are not alone. But that just makes your choice even more powerful. You can still create connection by joining a book club, volunteering a few hours a week, or even smiling and saying hello during your morning walk. Every small interaction nourishes your spirit. It reminds you that you're still part of the living world. You still matter. Loneliness doesn't just hurt the heart emotionally. It impacts physical health, raising blood pressure, weakening the immune system, even speeding up cognitive decline. But connection, even in its smallest forms, is like a shield against aging. It gives life texture and meaning. So ask yourself gently, when was the last time you reached out to someone? Not because you needed something, but just to say hello or share a memory. These are the threads that quietly weave the fabric of a joyful, long life. And finally, let's touch on one of the most powerful daily choices that often goes unnoticed: the way you speak to yourself. The quiet conversations you have in your mind when no one else is around. When you make a mistake, do you criticize yourself? When you look in the mirror, do you only see wrinkles or sagging? Or do you see wisdom, a story, a life well lived? People who reach 90 with grace tend to have one surprising thing in common. They're kind to themselves. Not because they think they're perfect, but because they know that inner peace fuels outer health. Self-talk matters. Your body listens. Your heart listens. Every time you say, I'm doing the best I can, or I'm still growing, or I'm grateful for today, you're sending a message to your nervous system to relax, to heal, to thrive. So instead of focusing on what's wrong, try whispering to yourself a little more often what's right. I got up today. I took care of my body. I'm learning. These little affirmations aren't just nice, they're powerful. They shift your energy. They make you walk taller, breathe deeper, and smile more easily. All of these small choices, what you eat, how you connect, how you speak to yourself, are the invisible ingredients of longevity. They aren't flashy. They don't come in a bottle or a prescription, but they're what the world's longest-lived people lean on every single day. So, now that we walk through these heart-level, body-honoring, life-expanding choices, let's keep moving forward into the final small decision that ties it all together and helps you build a life that feels not just long, but deeply alive. And now, let's look at the final, perhaps most underestimated choice that can shape your path toward a vibrant life into your 90s, how you end your day. You see, the way we wind down each evening is like writing the final sentence of a chapter. It sets the tone for rest, renewal, and how well your body recovers overnight. Yet, so many people go to bed carrying the weight of the day. Worries, regrets, unfinished tasks, or simply overstimulation from screens and noise. But what if your bedtime became sacred? Not a rushed routine, but a quiet ritual of kindness toward yourself? People who age well often have one evening habit in common. They let the day go with grace. They don't dwell on what they didn't do. They don't punish themselves for one indulgent meal or forgotten walk. Instead, they pause. They reflect. Maybe they sip a calming tea, stretch gently, jot down a few things they're grateful for, or simply sit in silence for 5 minutes before sleep. That tiny moment of stillness tells your body it's safe to rest. And when your body rests deeply, it repairs. Cells rejuvenate. Inflammation calms down. The brain clears out toxins. This is when healing happens, not during the hustle of the day, but in the deep exhale of night. Even something as small as turning off screens 30 minutes before bed or dimming the lights to signal to your body that the day is ending can change your sleep quality in ways you might not expect. Better sleep means better memory, steadier moods, stronger immunity, and more energy. And all that adds up night after night, year after year. But it's not just about sleep. It's about the message you send yourself as you close your eyes. I did enough today. I am enough. That one thought can be more powerful than any medication or supplement. So let's take a moment to tie it all together. Every one of these 5 small daily choices, starting your day with intention, moving your body gently, fueling yourself with real food, nurturing your relationships, and ending your day with care, might sound simple, but simplicity is often where the magic is. These are not just habits. They're quiet investments in your future self. You don't have to change everything overnight. That's not the goal. Even choosing one of these areas to focus on this week, maybe just starting your day with a glass of water and a quiet moment instead of diving into stress, can ripple into the rest of your life. You're not here just to survive your 60s and 70s. You're here to thrive, to keep growing, connecting, laughing, learning. Reaching 90 isn't about luck. It's about patterns, tiny, daily patterns that support your body, your spirit, and your joy. And the best part? It's never too late to start. Whether you've already been practicing some of these habits or today is the first time you're really thinking about them, your next choice still matters. Your body is listening. Your life is still unfolding. So today, I invite you to take one small step, just one, and let it remind you that you're worth the care. You're worth the time. You're worth the gentleness that aging with grace really requires. And as we close this video, I'd love to hear from you. What's one small daily choice you've already made that's brought you more energy, peace, or health? Share it in the comments. I read every single one, and your story might inspire someone else to begin their own journey. If this video helped you feel even a little more empowered about aging, please take a moment to like it. It truly helps us reach more people like you. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe and join our growing community of people committed to living their best life after 60. You are not alone. You are not too late. And there's so much more good ahead. Here's to living fully, growing boldly, and smiling all the way to 90 and beyond. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.